The Jahan estate was a gilded fortress, its marble halls and bulletproof windows a cage for 18-year-old Jungkook's restless spirit. To the world, he was the spoiled heir of a tech mogul, but beneath his tousled black hair, mischievous grin, and bubbling defiance burned a deeper fire, a desperate need to be seen, to feel alive in a life suffocated by his father's paranoia and power. Jungkook's chaos wasn't just rebellion, it was a cry for freedom, a refusal to be reduced to a pawn in his father's empire. Every rule he broke, every boundary he pushed, was a plea for someone to meet him in the storm of his heart. Kim Taehyung, 29, was the unyielding wall to Jungkook's whirlwind. A former Special Forces operative turned head of security, Tae was a vision of disciplined power, sharp jawline, piercing obsidian eyes, and tailored suits that hugged his muscular frame like armor. His voice was a low, commanding rumble, his movements precise, his control absolute. Hired after a violent breach in the estate's defenses, Tae's mission was to protect the family, particularly the reckless heir whose antics threatened to unravel everything. But Jungkook saw more than the soldier, he saw a man whose eyes flickered with something unguarded, something Jungkook wanted to claim. Their first collision was electric. Jungkook, scaling the garden wall at midnight to chase the pulse of freedom, was caught by Tae's iron grip under moonlight. The older man's presence was a storm cloud, heavy and unyielding. "Going somewhere, kid?" Tae's voice was velvet-wrapped steel, cutting through the night. Jungkook's smirk hid the ache in his chest. "Just looking for a life, Mr. Bodyguard. You gonna stop me?" Tae's jaw tightened. "Back inside. Now." Jungkook stepped closer, breath teasing Tae's ear, his voice a daring whisper. "Make me handsome." Tae's grip on Jungkook's arm sent a jolt through him, not of fear but of something alive, something real. As Tae marched him back, Jungkook's laughter rang out, a defiant anthem. It was the start of a war, Jungkook's rebellion a blazing challenge, Tae's control a relentless counterforce. But for Jungkook, it was more. Tae was the first person who didn't flinch at his chaos, the first who met his fire with equal intensity. Weeks became a battlefield of wills. Jungkook's antics were a calculated assault, slipping trackers, disabling cameras, tripping alarms, all to provoke Tae, to see how far he could push before the man broke. He craved the moments when Tae's mask slipped, the lingering glances, the hesitant touch when he dragged Jungkook from trouble. Jungkook wasn't just a troublemaker, he was a boy starving for connection, and Tae's restrained strength felt like the answer to a question he'd never dared ask. One sweltering summer night, Jungkook raised the stakes. He climbed the mansion's roof, music blasting, dancing under a starlit sky with a reckless abandon that masked his deeper longing. He knew Tae would come, he always did. When Tae appeared, scaling the trellis with predatory grace, his eyes burned with something darker than anger. "Get down," Tae commanded, voice a low, dangerous growl. Jungkook spun, shirt half unbuttoned, sweat glistening on his skin, his heart pounding with a need he could no longer hide. "Come get me, Tae." Tae crossed the roof in 3 strides, seizing Jungkook's wrist. "You're a brat. Do you know the you cause?" Tae snarled, his breath against Jungkook's face. Jungkook's grin was defiant, but his voice trembled with honesty. I know. And I know you feel me. Tae. Stop pretending you don't. The air crackled, charged with unspoken truths. Tae yanked Jungkook against him, their bodies pressed so close Jungkook could feel the older man's heartbeat. You're playing with fire. Tae warned, voice with restraint. Then burn with me. I'm so tired of being invisible. Jungkook pleaded, his eyes bearing the vulnerability he'd buried for years. Time shattered. Tae's control snapped, and he kissed Jungkook, a fierce, possessive clash of lips that stole Jungkook's breath. Jungkook melted into it, fingers twisting in Tae's dark hair, tugging to draw a primal growl. They stumbled against the rooftop ledge, Tae's hands on Jungkook's shirt, tracing his trembling frame with desperate. Jungkook arched into him, his teasing facade crumbling, replaced by an aching need to be wanted. Tae! Jungkook gasped, voice breaking with the weight of his longing. Tae pulled back, eyes tormented. This is wrong. You're too young, Jungkook. Jungkook's heart clenched, but he grabbed Tae's face, forcing their eyes to lock. Don't you dare call this wrong. I've spent my life in a cage, Tae. You're the first thing that feels real. Don't take that away from me. Their love was a wildfire, born in stolen moments and fueled by Jungkook's relentless pursuit. He snuck into Tae's quarters, left teasing notes in his pockets, pressed himself against Tae in dark corners until the older man's restraint shattered. Every kiss, every touch, was a victory for Jungkook, a proof that he could be seen, loved, claimed. But Tae was torn, his duty clashing with the fire Jungkook ignited. Jungkook was too young, too reckless, the boss's son, a line Tae couldn't cross without consequences. Jungkook refused to let him retreat. One night, he cornered Tae in the armory, locking the door, his eyes blazing with a mix of desperation and determination. Stop running, I love you, Tae. I've never felt this alive, and I know you feel it too. Don't you dare leave me in the dark again. Jungkook demanded. Tae's fists clenched, his voice strained. You're 18, Jungkook. You don't understand the cost of this. Jungkook stepped closer, tears burning his eyes but his voice steady. I understand I've been invisible my whole life. My father sees a legacy, not a son. The world sees a spoiled kid. But you see me. I'd rather die than lose that. Tell me you don't love me, Tae. Lie to me, and I'll stop. Tae's resolve shattered. He grabbed Jungkook, kissing him with a ferocity that felt like surrender. You're mine, and I can't let you go. Tae murmured, lips brushing Jungkook's. Jungkook's sob of relief was swallowed by another kiss, their colliding in a desperate dance of need and salvation. The danger escalated. Jungkook's recklessness nearly cost him everything when a joyride turned deadly, a black car chasing him through the city, grazing his tires. Tae saved him, fighting off the attackers but his fear erupted in the aftermath. He dragged Jungkook to his office, slamming the door, his voice a roar. Do you want to die? Do you have any idea what you mean to me? Jungkook, bruised and trembling, grabbed Tae's collar, tears streaming down his face. I'm not trying to die, Tae. I'm trying to live. You're the only thing that makes me feel like I'm not drowning. I love you, and I'll keep fighting for you, even if it kills me. Tae's hands shook as he cupped Jungkook's face, his own eyes glistening. I can't lose you. You're my everything. Tae whispered, voice breaking. Their kiss was a lifeline, slow, deep, a promise forged in fear and love. Tae lifted Jungkook onto the desk, there together, hands gentle yet desperate, as if they could hold back the world. Jungkook's gasps, Tae's murmured vows, they were a rebellion against the shadows closing in. The truth detonated when Jungkook's father, Mr. Jeon, uncovered their affair. He stormed into Tae's office, his face a mask of betrayal. You dare touch my son? You have death wish. Mr. Jeon roared. Jungkook burst in, heart pounding, and threw himself between them. Don't you dare touch him! Jungkook screamed, tears of fury in his eyes. I love him, Dad. I chose him. You've kept me in a cage my whole life, but he sees me. He's my home. Mr. Gain's voice was ice, his hands steady. You're a child, Jungkook. You've been manipulated by a traitor. I'm not a child. Jungkook's voice cracked, with years of pain. You never saw me, Dad. You saw an heir, a tool. Tae gave me a reason to keep breathing. If you hurt him, you'll lose me forever. The room was a powder keg. Tae stepped forward, voice calm but unyielding. I'll leave, sir. But I'll protect him with my life, whether you allow it or not. Mr. Jeon's gaze flickered, torn between rage and the shattering realization that his son was no longer his to control. You've destroyed this family. Get out. Both of you. You're no son of mine. Mr. Jeon said, voice hollow. Jungkook's heart broke, but he grabbed Tae's hand, his grip fierce. I don't need him. I have you. You're enough for me. Jungkook whispered. Tae grabbed Jungkook's hands more tightly. They fled to a safe house, Tae's contacts shielding them from the enemies circling. In the quiet, Jungkook curled against Tae, tracing the scars on his chest, his voice soft but resolute. I forced you to love me. And I'd do it again. You're the only one who ever saw me. Jungkook said, tears falling. Tae pulled him closer, lips brushing his forehead. You didn't force me, Jungkook. You woke me up. I was dead inside until you came into my life. Their love was a spark in the shadows, born from Jungkook's desperate need to be seen and Tae's surrender to a heart he couldn't deny. They were chaos and strength, fire and steel, bound by a passion that defied the world. In the darkness, they burned brighter than ever. The end.